Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at how we can do advanced Java array initialization so we can do some cool things with Java arrays that we can't do just by simply assigning default values. Normally we can just assign values into an array by accessing the index value and using the subscript notation to assign one value per spot at a time. And so we do this, then this, then this, and this. However, we can do this a bit even cooler by using an initialization sequence. This is where I can assign an entire array of values all at once. And there's two different ways we can do this. We have the simple version for local variables that we'd use inside, say, for example, a method or inside the block of code like a for or an if block, where we would simply need to pre-use all the values for an array all at once. And there's a more advanced version we have to do if we want to work with, say, for example, a data member. We want to declare the array in one spot and then initialize it in another. And so that's the more advanced version even for that. So go ahead and we'll take a look at these two different ways to do initialization of arrays and how we can actually work with them. The array initialization sequence we have right here, where you can initialize with all your values in just one fell swoop. You declare the type of the array, and I'm using the lowercase t/capital T because remember, arrays can always hold both primitives or object types. So you can use either of that. And then of course our keyword, quote unquote, the square brackets for an array. And then after the assignment operator, our good fancy word for the equal sign, we have a set of squiggles with commas separating all the values in the order we wish them to be inside the array. This is only valid if you want to assign directly at the point of creation, because if you try and do it otherwise, you'll get an error message saying you can't do initialization at the same time, and that's okay. So local variables only, this is when you want to do this. Let's go ahead and take a look at a code example for this. So here's two examples of this in code. I have an int array numbers, and I'm assigning to that using that squiggles again, 1, 2, integer.max value, which automatically gets that default int value of maximum value of 2 billion and change, and 0. And then I have my string array words, my words is equal to, and then any string, and then null because it's an object, so it'll automatically fit there, and then value will do. And so we can put any type of string value in that array all at once, and it puts them in that sequence right there. And then I have a for each loop to traverse those two different arrays. So for int number colon numbers, it'll print out 1, 2 billion and change, and then 0. And then for word and words, it'll do any string, null, and then value will do, and the rows of lines on that. And so that's how you can do a local variable based initialization. So if you have the values just you want to throw in right there for quick and easy stuff, you can make that happen right there. So we first want to declare and then initialize. And so if you want to use it as a data member, that previous version won't work. It'll throw an error on your compiler saying you can't do initialization like this. It doesn't work. So what you have to do first is you do a standard declaration just like always. You have your private data member, you assign it the whatever type of array it is, and then its name, and then a semicolon just like normal. And then when you initialize it, you don't put the initialization sequence. Instead, what you're going to do, you're going to use the new keyword, and then the type, and then square brackets saying it's a new array of that type. And then after that, you do the squigs and the commas separating the values. So it's a kind of similar approach, just a little bit more involved with it. So let's take a look at how it actually works with code right here. So for data memorization, when you're using the data member style, I have my private string array words right here. And in my controller's constructor, I have 3 variables I just threw in there for this. So square bracket sounds like sub for subscript notation. And then another string, Java arrays use subscript notation. Again, bringing you back to those vocab terms we're using for this. And then yet another CS rocks. And then words is equal to a new string array. And then I pass it the initialization sequence, word, comma, another string, comma, yet another. So it can build that array from that. And this is how you can do initialization of an array using some presupplied data members. Of course, your constructor shouldn't look like this. This is kind of messy, but you can get the idea, so you can do it for demo purposes. So say, for example, you want to initialize an array from predefined values. You can declare it up above and then reinitialize it using this sequence right here for use later on. I hope this is a helpful way to work with arrays in Java. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. See you again. Bye-bye.